Are we live now?
Yes, we're live now.
Okay, take two. Everybody, it's Friday night. Grab your... I can't. It's done. I can't do it. It's done. Welcome to Kyber Cave After Dark because Van ruined it the first time.
Oh, man.
For those of you who didn't realize, we've been talking for about 3 minutes by ourselves and we didn't know we weren't live.
To ourselves.
It was fun. It was a fun moment.
To be fair, it's not the first time we've talked to ourselves.
The whole show is ruined. The whole thing. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh my God, this is what happens when you leave me in charge of the... I told you never let me touch the technology. This is the kind of crap that happens.
From now on...
Exactly why I don't do that stuff. It's like,
from now on, Matt's in charge.
What?
I'm more than happy to pass over the controls. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing besides me, obviously?
I'm doing fine. Doing fine.
Dude, it's been a great day. It's been a great day.
Well, I haven't been doing that great, but shit. It's stories. Okay, go around the room, get back to me, because I have a...
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for feeling good. Fours, why is it a beautiful day?
Nah, it's just good vibes in my house today, and I've got a job interview coming up on Sunday, which is going to be something that is not involving dead people, which is great. Woo! And also, if it pans out, it will allow me 4 full days to work on Kyber Cave stuff, sound font stuff, recording stuff, all the stuff, all the things,
life things.
God, I wish I could have 4 days away from work to live.
But they're long ass days. I mean, these days that they're talking about putting me on, they're going to be 12-hour days. Ooh. But I mean, 3 12-hour days and 4 days to Kyber Cave it up.
I would actually take that deal for sure. For sure.
What can I ask? What kind of work is it?
No, but I'll tell you on the after party.
Ooh,
it comes with an NDA. What?
There's some jobs that's like, okay, you've got to be a security, person at a gate for 12 hours. And then there's some that's like you are working as a nurse's assistant for 12 hours. Like 12 hours isn't always equal in every job.
True. I will say there are no weekends. There is no on-call. There is no nights.
Wow. So you would have a steady schedule?
Steady. Absolutely steady.
Is
that
it like a drug dealer? I mean,
you wish.
I do. I think these are good hooked up these days. Dear God.
The local cartels have better health plans than most employers nowadays. What's up, Mezzo? See, I remember to put the T sound in there.
There you go.
Graveyard, what's good with you?
I'm sure you guys saw I finished my gaming PC yesterday. Put up my green screen that's behind me today.
Wow.
Yes,
I was able to test it out earlier with Fours with some Last of Us, and I run my HDMI cables from my gaming side to come over to my PC side, so I can start capturing the retro stuff.
Hell's yeah,
dude! And Fours and I made some 16-bit characters of us. I made a 16-bit font or image of the Kyber Cave Productions.
Wow!
I'm gonna do like a title screen and a character select for these.
And I am redesigning 16-bit Anthony right now on the other screen.
Woohoo!
Excellent. The first one was adorable
because he's going to be
with tits.
10 out of 10 fabulous.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's been fun stuff working this week. I mean, besides my regular job. That's
right. And besides your regular job and your regular show and your family and kids.
Right.
And...
Yeah. Yeah.
Say Wong, what is going on? Say Wong. Also, hello all. Hello, Say Wong.
Hello.
So now that you've gotten through October, do you get a moment to breathe at your other show?
Yeah. we're only doing 3 movies this week. As opposed to
I imagine for you, October is tax season for a personal accountant.
It's we're calling this. I don't know if Salem approves it, but we're calling it the month of Salem. It's his birthday month.
Hey, happy
So-
birthday, Salem.
So we're doing. I want to because I put him through hell with October.
Right.
So we're picking through his favorite franchises and movies and stuff like that. So
Oh wow.
a lot of good stuff, not just garbage that we.
Are you going to be doing like when I had the I don't know if I should. Dr. Saber, what is going on? It's good to have you here.
Dr.
Metzos.
Saber M.
Metza says happy birthday for Salem there. When I was at downtown Fairfield when we had the Kyber Cave, we did the 12 Nights of Star Wars, and we played the 12 movies, and I included Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars, in that, and Rogue One in that at the time, because it was like 9 movies, and then I had to fill out like 3 more.
Yeah.
So are you going to be doing like a 12 nights of Christmas slasher movies?
We are doing so many Christmas movies because there's a new one that's coming out that's about a killer Christmas tree. We have to include that.
Killer Christmas tree.
Yes.
Wow.
There's 2 Jack Frost movies that are absolutely horrible, but
Oh,
gold.
yes. Yes.
And then we're gonna kind of do a couple anthology stuff for Christmas. We're gonna do Krampus. We're gonna do the Christmas anthology movie that's out there. We can't do everything because we want to save stuff for next year, obviously, too, because you still have like the Silent Night, Deadly Night stuff,
Right.
and then the Black Christmas movies as well. There's 3 of those.
Say Wong says you're going to include Ghostbusters too.
Ah,
As a ooh,
I don't know if I
maybe?
consider that a horror movie.
No.
New Year's
New Year's.
movie.
Yeah, and then what we're gonna do in January, we're gonna kick it off with a recap of 2022 and pick our
Nice.
favorites and do just like a easy list of what we liked and what we
God,
didn't like throughout the year.
2022.
Wow.
So
Wow. This year compared to last year, have there been more horror movies or less horror movies out for people to choose from?
more this year by far.
Oh yeah.
Like we had 3 major franchises come out with a movie in October. That's part of why we were so busy.
Wow.
So
Wow. Well, see, there you go.
yeah,
Never without material for you
No.
to have on your show.
no, not at all.
All right, Anthony, did you asked to be last, and here you go.
Hi.
Hey.
So those first 3 minutes that we aired, I was the first one. We had some magic happen that's just gone forever, never to be seen again.
Oh wait,
But
wait,
Killing me.
It's fine. No, I've actually been kind of in the last few days. My foot's acted up again, so like literally could not walk yesterday or today. I'm gonna try to find a good doctor to go to because this shit sucks, and I'm really scared to work tomorrow because I have to stand all night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Not really, but today's not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was the crippling shooting pain up my entire leg that like I could do nothing but take ibuprofen and pray to Jesus that it stops. And then do a lot of THC. I put a lot of THC into my system just to try to kind of like zone out. And if you're high enough, you're either gonna fall asleep or just not even realize that it's still hurting right now, but it still fucking hurts.
Oh
I hate my
man.
feet. If I could cut my feet off and have robot feet, I would take that deal. Give me the robot devil from Futurama, please. Just robot feet, and I'm good to go because I'm tired
Like
of not
Darth
being able
Maul.
to fucking walk.
Spider leg feet.
Hey, if I could have 4 extra arms, I'd be happy with that too. You have no fucking joke. I'm always like, if I could just carry more shit with my hands, I would be happy.
That would definitely help you as a server, I guess.
Oh yeah, now as a bartender, do you know how many fucking drinks I could knock out if I had like 4 active hands going independently of me like talking to people? Like
If
it'd be
Goro
fucking
was a
amazing.
bartender.
Yeah, I would just be like an octopus. It'd be amazing.
Wow,
one of my
let's
favorite
chop off our
creatures.
feet and get running blades.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down for that. Just I need health insurance. By the way, if anybody can like call out what my background is today, this is
Segue.
exactly what I feel like my bedroom is like because of my recovery. So,
I'm actually digging that, to be honest.
if you know what it's from, we can be friends. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
We're not friends already.
You are my friend, but do you know what this is from?
You get bonus points in the friendship category if you know.
Exactly. Oh, it's an anime. You guys don't watch anime.
Yeah, I don't watch anime.
I do.
I'm in the wrong.
It's a really fucking famous one. I can guarantee that.
I was gonna say that's not Rain.
No.
And it's not Tenchi.
No.
Does anyone in the audience know?
That's
Say
what
Wong
I'm
says it's
Say Wong might know.
If say Wong, if
That's
you
not
got
how you spell their name. Thank you. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is it the right person?
It's Ray.
It's Ray's from Evangelion.
Yeah.
All right, say Wong. The next time I see you, I got a free T-shirt for you for that. I was gonna say that, but then he had it before.
If you haven't seen that goddamn anime, you should, because it is a trip. Like, I'm not one for the big Gundam mech stuff, but I love that goddamn show.
I like all of it except the 13th, which is the instrumentality, which is trash. So I just don't even acknowledge its existence.
Are you talking about like the last 2 episodes of the series?
Yes, I just skip straight to those terrible movies.
Yeah, no, exactly. The movies definitely are a better fitting ending. But the human instrumentality thing is a fun notion in general. I would love to go in depth one day and just nerd out about that whole concept. It's amazing. Anywho, we will be here all night if we talk about that.
Well, Anthony, if I can make you smile, Aubrey and I have been talking about it, and I'm thinking this is going to become a reality. It's going to be titled 2 Queens and a Fours Play Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah.
And then 2 Queens and a Fours Play Silent Hill.
That'll be fun.
We're gonna get it.
It's gonna have to be Mondays, isn't it?
It'll have to be someday. I don't know, but
Some
we're gonna make it happen.
God, Legend of Dragoon's gonna take forever. And if I could figure out how to cosplay as Rose, I would.
Make it happen.
I'm trying to think.
I'll try, and there's no promises.
That name sounds so much like it could be flipped into a poker hand somewhere. I'm trying to figure it out, man.
It's
2 queens and a 4.
2 queens and a 4s.
2 queens and 4s of hearts. How do we turn it into a poker hand?
We've turned it into a show, apparently.
I love that title, though.
What's up?
Lightsaber.
I hope things are, at least better while you're here with us. That's all we can ever ask for. It's just, it may suck to have a foot that's hurting, but damn it, you can at least be hurting around friends.
Yeah, well, again, at least I'm not having to move I'm literally sitting my ass in front of a computer screen with Pinot Grigio. Alcohol makes the pain slightly more tolerable.
And with our injury talk, let's segue into our first topic, shall we?
No, that's not the first topic. The first one's the light one.
Oh. I thought we were going to get all hella serious first. And
I thought we were going to talk about No Shave November. Shit.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was No Nut November.
Well, I was going to say that's why I'm not doing drag right now, is that I'm not shaving my face for this month because I never shave it for November. It's all about No Shave November. I've heard of the No Nut November. I'm not certain I could potentially ever do that. Just saying. I don't think I just don't.
Every month's no shave for me. I mean,
well, I know. It seems like you guys are already kind of part of that club. I got my 3-day shadow going, so hey.
All right, so with the lottery as big and as crazy as it has been, I know that has been the rage and the talk of all the town. I don't buy lottery tickets. I figure I'll waste my money on other things.
I do. Shit. You can't win if you don't play, and I might as well take a chance. $5.
Right, but the way my life wins, I don't win when I do play. And I'm not even just talking about the lottery. At any rate, so obviously everybody wants a chunk of that change. So if you won the lottery, what would you spend the money on? Mezzo's like, no nut. What does that even mean?
It means you're a master of your own domain.
Yes, watch that episode of Seinfeld. There's all
such a good bitch, girl.
I'm out.
She said explain later on Facebook.
Who wants to jump in
no,
on
we
this
don't need to
first?
do that. This is after dark. We'll explain it right damn here.
It means you don't come. That's what it means.
There you go.
Come on, Eileen. All right. So, what would you do if you won? God, I don't even think it would
It's like
have to be like
$5 billion now, isn't it? Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it's in the B's.
Yeah, well, I think 1.6 billion.
Freaking A, man.
I mean, even
anything
after
over-
taxes, that's still damn near $1 billion. Like that's.
Well, it depends if you take the cash out or if you do over
always
30
take
years.
cash out.
Dr. Saber says 1.4 billion chicken tenders. Probably that's what it's dependent on.
Paying $1 per chicken tender?
Yeah. At least go for the bone-in wings if you're going to spend the whole freaking dollar.
What's up, John? This is our new boy, John. John, if you're actually up, I thought you didn't typically stay up this late. If you're actually up, we can throw you a link if you like as well. He is going to be one of our new hosts. We have a new show coming up. I am really, really excited about. He's going to be on that.
It's 824. What the fuck?
Feed a boatload of people. That would be good. So you could set up some community farms. If you're under the age of 40, you should definitely take all that money over 30 years. You'd make much more money.
Yeah.
Unless society collapses.
Or you can plan on living 30 years.
I'd be excited to make it to the next 3.
Society collapses, then you'll be part of The Last of Us.
Segue.
Full-size Olympic swimming
I'm here all
pool
night.
full of chicken.
I know you
my
are.
God.
And you love me.
I do. Okay. We love each other. It's because none of us got enough love in our childhoods.
Anthony, I will say in complete full disclosure, you are my favorite queen in the whole world.
Oh, thank you. Get me
Favorite.
on Drag Race already. I need help fucking making that video happen.
Van, what would you do with the money?
Man, you know what? I had this idea a long time ago. This was like I came up with this idea like 20 years ago when I was in my college dorm room. But I thought, it was when I first found out that you could like franchise a McDonald's or like a Taco Bell or something. And I thought like, what if you got like an apartment complex that was, being sold or something like that, filled it with like 20 people that, needed homes, people that were out on the streets or single mothers or whatever, people that needed a place, and then tied it into like a job work program at a Taco Bell, and the money that they were, that the Taco Bell was making would help fund this rental complex. And then while they're there, they could learn, like you could bring in tutors and bring in, you could have like a community center for the kids, because if everybody was working at the same place or whatever, and then they also worked at this apartment, they would have, people, we could come together and have like a daycare thing, where one of the moms would watch on their day off and people would take turns and shifts and things like that. And I thought it would like all fund itself. And then these people could raise enough money after working there a year or two and having a savings program, they could raise enough money to go get their own place.
I like it.
Like, does that seem like it would work? Like, if you just took a little bit of money and started it, I think it would like pay for itself after a while.
I mean, maybe I'd have to really analyze that flow chart, because it seems like you'd be buying into a lot of things that then they're working at the place that you also own, so you're paying them money to then pay you money to live in that building.
No, you wouldn't charge them rent. It would be part of their like.
Oh, okay.
Get
Well,
on their feet.
So
They
okay,
could
you're
save
offering
their
like
money.
a housing thing that's free of charge,
Right, and that
people,
would
and then
be
giving them work.
paid
That's
for
very
by the
altruistic of you.
profits.
That's
profits
very
from,
that's a very cute philanthropic way. I butchered that word. Whatever I just said incorrectly. Way to approach things. I think that's cute.
Well, like I'm always looking at the the money end of it. Like, of course it would take money to buy the franchise and the apartment, but because I know a lot of people that own these franchises and make a shitload of money. So if you had one of these that instead of putting the money in my pocket, it was going back into keeping that apartment complex going and, paying for the water and all that stuff. It seems like it could work. And it could help people get off the street, and it could help them save up enough money if they're not having to pay rent and they can save all their money. Maybe you have some kind of agreement or something, make it a program or something. They could eventually, within a year or two, save up enough to.
I feel like the more
place.
appropriate or responsible way of doing that is that you provide them with a bank account that they pay you the money that they need to save, that you then store into a high accrual one.
That's an even better idea.
Something to a certain amount, then they can have that money and go buy it. If you trust people to do that on their own, they are going to take advantage of your free rent and then squander that money and go, "Oh, but I still need your help. You can't leave me now." Like that's what's going to happen with that.
And that's an even better idea, because if you put that all into an account, then that's accruing its own set of interest that you're going to pay their people back. But all their money together collectively is making interest on other things.
Yeah.
See, there's ways to make money and do the right thing.
Yeah, you're investing in people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And hopefully you're helping families, get off the street.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very great idea. That seems very good. Graveyard, what about you?
Tons of those all over.
First and foremost, I would make sure, everyone in my family, my kids are set for life and make sure we have that money set aside. Obviously, you're going to have to open up a trust account that you put everything into it so people can't come out of the woodwork and come after you and try to get money from you, all that stuff. After that, I would invest in myself. I would build the top of line brewery and get the restaurant people I know and build that out again. Want to do that. Like I said, invest in myself. I'm not going to stop working. I don't have that in me just to sit there and do nothing. I have to be doing something. So I'd rather it be something that I enjoy for work as a hobby, or, expand on my video game collection as well. And
How is that even possible?
It's possible.
There are ways.
There are ways. And for donate to charities that are good causes to the community. And I really like dogs a lot too, so I'd want to get property and have like a heated barn and take all the old dogs from shelters that no one wants to adopt and give them a good place for the rest of their lives, and just take care of them too.
Mezzo, damn it!
Dog sanctuary.
Yeah. And as Mezzo said, film the horror movie that she wants to make.
Hey.
That we're writing.
I've been thinking about that too. Have people we've been talking about? There was talk behind the scenes about like some kind of a horror movie or something. Is there a genuine idea that has been laid out for a story?
Yeah,
we were going to weigh that. And this is what we would do if we made the money. We'd spend it on a movie.
I mean, yeah, it's something I'd want to do. It's something I've always wanted to do, is make a horror movie.
Right.
So
I thought. Wait, whose is it? Metz's idea?
Can we make a campy one?
Oh, we were discussing that in the chat. That
I have an entire idea for one. I'd call My Roommate as a Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's very Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
With like a little touch of What We Do in the Dark.
Okay, I like. Yeah, I said I have a face for radio and voice for silent movies, but cheesy horror movies, I'm all over that.
I would watch every single one. Proudly.
Oh, it would be fun. It would be totally fun.
Oh, yeah. Because you have to make one that's pure cheese. Absolutely have to. With the worst actors and all that stuff.
I'm telling you, Phil, at our sister thing at Distance Nerding, I'm telling you, he would be one of the top guys to get in there with those voices and do it.
Yes. We want over-the-top death scenes that people are just dying for like 5 minutes.
Whatever will we do?
Right.
Let's get Anthony Sylvestra of Lockpicking to get us out.
I had a basic beginning of an idea of a show based on this show, actually, where it would be like Kyber Cave, and then all of a sudden like you would see like a shadow come up and like take out Aaron and shit, and then like all of us are on stream watching him, get murdered or whatever. And then, the mystery is trying to figure out all of a sudden slowly on different streams.
That movie
hosts
Unfriended?
get starting taken out.
Yes,
What?
it is. It is unfriended.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, see, I'm so
Well, I
not-
mean, it's a bit more supernatural. They were all terrible people, but yes, that was one where it's a bunch of
Yeah.
friends in a live call, and then like they
Yep.
all died. You know.
Yeah,
'cause-
and then there was a last year, 2 years ago, the movie called Host, where they did a seance on a Zoom call. They had the virtual circle, and they broke it. And it's all it was shot during the pandemic, and that's why they were doing the Zoom call, because it's doing a seance online.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So maybe not necessarily the most original
Anywho,
idea.
distractions. Forrest, what would you do with the money if you won?
Oh, for the love of God. You all know that my PG-13 ass would probably do something so horrendously stereotypical. Starting with, well, I would probably go ahead and make sure that my kids and my wife and everybody is secure for as long as they live. And then I would choose all of my very best friends and make sure that they're hooked up. And remember, if you didn't get any money, then you should have treated me better. Treated me better, bitch.
Yeah.
Because you lost. And probably the rest would go into trusts plural, that would just continue to pay me every single month. And then I would just live. I would probably travel everywhere. And then I would take all of you and travel everywhere.
Oh,
Cruise. We all got to do a cruise together.
Oh, we will.
Oh, that would
Shit.
be fun.
Dude,
Fuck
for
yeah.
as much freaking money as we would have the Kyber Cave yacht. And we would just we would all assemble
we just
on
have
this.
our own cruise ship that we executively own and sell tickets for, and I would do a drag show and a whole Broadway routine.
And when you pull the boat horn, it's just Van laughing really loud.
Wow.
There you go.
I would like that. That's
Full
what it would do.
Full game room downstairs.
Full movie
There would
theater
just be
with
one floor that's just for us, and it would be like a very upper echelon one.
Yeah.
For sure. Just cause full arcade DDR.
And we could actually do a show all in the same room
IMAX
together.
screen.
Yes.
Have a booth like a Power Rangers Zord set up.
Hell, get Jason David Frank as the Green Ranger there because we could afford it.
Yeah.
You're a permanent fixture here, David. Just get used to it.
Your new name is Tommy. That's what we pay you for. You are Tommy for life.
Oh God, isn't he already though?
Kyber Cave Cruise Lines.
Hey, if Impractical Jokers can have their cruise for their fans, surely.
Actually, you know what though? To be honest with you, okay, so when Kyber Cave first opened, it was a tiny, literally the bedroom size of a store in downtown Fairfield on the second floor of a building. Next door to us was a cruise company that happened to be the wife's husband I went to school with, high school with, way back in the day. So obviously I became really good friends with them.
Take the screen.
That is something that you can do for relatively cheap. What am I looking for?
Take the screen. Get my big ass off the screen. Thank you.
My bad. That is something that we can do for relatively cheap, is rent a cruise or rent a section of a cruise with our own people. And because we're doing it in a big bulk, you get discounts, and you can even specialize it to things that you like. I had thought, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking, you know what else that we can do for relatively cheap if we had 10 people? We could rent a private plane and fly to Vegas. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Are we talking about lottery winnings, or are we just talking about I'm lost.
Yeah.
We lost Forrest. He's somewhere missing. It's okay.
Oh man,
yeah.
we got on to yachts and private planes, and he was gone.
Yeah, it's okay.
What about you, Anthony?
Okay, so I've said this for years. First of all, if you win the lottery, tell no one. You tell nobody. You take a picture of that shit. You keep it somewhere safe. You fucking call up a financial advisor. It's the person whose name is on the goddamn building. You have them open up all your shit, set up a trust and whatnot. and then you figure out the 20% that you want to gift to the people in your life. That's the first step. So like in doing so, I would probably pay off my mother's house so she would have that outright. I would personally want to build my dream house, which is essentially like a full-on Clue-ish mansion that has secret passageways and like all sorts of like little hidden secrets and shit. But like it wouldn't need to be big. It would just need to be elaborate and have a lot of weird shit about it. Like it needs to be eclectic. I want an eclectic house. I want something that somebody comes in and goes, wow, this person was a little crazy, weren't they? Absolutely. Yes, I am. And then other than that, this is what I've said for years. I would fix the fucking water in Flint, Michigan. I mean, I hear that it takes like $50 million to fucking fix that shit. Why has no billionaire just gone, fuck it, let's just make people's lives better and fix it. Just fix it, because it's still an issue. Like, it's sad that it's still an issue. But outside of that, I like Van's idea about like setting up some sort of thing that betters the community. Like I would buy up as much fucking property as possible and rent shit out at a very low rate comparatively, and then just make sure that I am helping those people that are, you know, the single moms or the college kid that's trying to struggle and get through, or something to that effect where like, hey, if you just, you know, sign this waiver that says you're not going to fuck me over and then I can make sure you're not fucking up my property, I will give you low rent because I don't need the rent. Because I'm still going to make money off of nothing, essentially. Like, yeah, people who own shit tons of property, I look at and just go, wow, it must be nice to just sit there and rake in cash every fucking month as a slumlord. Because have you fixed anything in that house in the last 20 years? My guess is probably not.
Right. I find it interesting, especially with this economy, how like people have taken like particular target at landlords.
The housing prices right now here, even where I live, are astronomical. It's a house that hasn't been modified in like 60 plus years, right, in any way, shape, or form, and they're selling it for, you know, $430,000. This is a house that somebody bought for $29,000 initially, or say it was something that somebody bought like 10 years ago for $230,000. Now they're selling it for $450,000, and they've done nothing to it. Like that. The way that our housing market works is just kind of ridiculous. I'm glad that I'm still working towards my goal of finally owning my first house, but I ain't going to buy right now. Interest rates keep going up. I know what I'm pre-qualified for, so at least I have that going for me. And I'm just going to keep squirreling away my cash into an accruing savings account until I can actually have the down payment and still take advantage of a first-time buyers program. Like,
it seems
multiple
ridiculous
trusts
to me how there are. I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to about this recently, but we were talking about Vallejo, Mare Island out here, and how there's so many empty buildings, and they used to be like barracks and military housing. So there's so many like places that people could live, they just don't allow it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I've heard that too, where we have so many more empty houses in America than people who are actually homeless, and that right there is just sad. That's a travesty in the fact that that's America now. Like, it's the people who have a shit ton of money that own everything but refuse to let people live there because, god damn, if it's ever affordable. Well, no, it needs to be like 2/3 of what you make from your job that we don't want you to make more money from.
Right. Well, but I know that at least around here, that's a big problem. I don't know how it is for you guys out where you're at, but here you have to have an apartment. If you want to have an apartment, you have to make 3 times the rent, right? Is that typically what most apartments ask for? And here, you know, if you're spending $2,500 to $3,000 a month on your rent, who makes $9,000 a month?
Right.
I mean, there are obviously people who do, but you know, none of my friends.
Well, certainly not in a fucking minimum wage job. That's for damn sure. Like, and that's why it sucks that that's even considered minimum wage. Like, that should be a sustainable income for you to afford your rent. And instead, what we have are people that have like 8 roommates because they could not afford that rent on their own because they have a minimum wage job. God, we went from light topic to hard topic, and that's not even
I knew it, and I
Fuck.
knew we were gonna go here. I knew it was coming. I knew it was
Sorry.
coming.
With lottery, how
Sorry.
did you fucking know that we would go from lottery to housing economy crisis?
Because it's money, and we bitch about money because we're poor
We do.
people.
We're poor. We're
Sorry. We
I
bitch
make
about money because we're poor people.
I make decent money for what I do, and I'm very blessed that I have the kind of rent that I do, because the house next door to me is renting it for about $900 more than what I pay.
Wow.
But I also have a personal relationship with my landlords. I've been here for 7 years.
Wow.
And we paid them our rent through COVID, and they still to this day damn well know that that is rare. That is rare that there's somebody in your house that's still paying their full rent, even after losing their jobs, even after having to take shitty jobs to pay the rent, that I'm still cutting you a check and I'm not screwing you over. So like that's been a big blessing for us in the long run, because right now we are underpaying from what everyone around us is doing. We've been trying to buy out this house and make it our first time home. But
Excellent.
like those negotiations have been tough. What she wants and what we can do is vastly different. And then my mom's been stressing hardcore this entire like last 3 months. She's like, what's going to happen if your landlord sells out your house underneath you, and then you're put in a 60-day you have to get out? And I was like, honestly, I don't think she'd ever do that. Just because they keep on professing how much they appreciate us as their tenants, that we've been great tenants and everything else. But I know that my mom's a realist, that she's like, yeah, but she could sell your house for like $450,000. And what would you do? Where would you go? Because at this point, your rent would go up exponentially. You have a lot of pets. You can't necessarily afford what's selling now. I mean, we even checked out a house recently that's like a couple blocks away from us. Again, from the 50s. Very small, awkward layout. The fucking bathroom was atrocious. And it's still wanting like $420.
Wow.
And I just looked at that and went, who's moving into that house? Because unless it's like a little old lady, I don't know who the fuck wants that tiny ass bathroom that like barely one person can fit in, that's got hideous pink tile, and then 2 bedrooms that are very small, and one of them has the fireplace, like back end of the fireplace, like jutting into the room, which does not seem like it's up to code in the slightest.
So then let me ask you a question then. At that juncture, if that were to come to fruition, would you and husband then pretty much consider leaving Cali altogether if you were really faced with that circumstance?
I mean, we've talked about this a bit, where if we were to leave California, we want to go up north to like Seattle-ish area, somewhere in Washington or Oregon, somewhere where it's cold and misty,
which
all
isn't
the time.
much better financially than we
Well,
are.
I mean, sadly, yeah, I know that's the sad truth. Like, that's not any better, but like we would want to go up north somewhere, because even his sister lives in Idaho, and like you can get a lot more out there for your buck, but also there's nothing fucking there.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know what I do, and certainly you don't make the same kind of money. Like as a bartender, like I make most of my money off of my tips. I don't make it from my hourly wage. That's for damn sure.
Right.
And the only downside is that those tips are not consistent. So like a couple weeks ago, I had a fucking night crazier than any other, super, super busy, just off my ass slammed. And I made like damn near $900, but most of it was an IOU. So because I didn't have enough cash to cover it, it went on to my next check. And I got very, very scared because I was like, fuck, I don't know what that's going to do to my check. I've heard horror stories about you get taxed so hard that suddenly you have nothing. And fortunately, it still turned out to be a really good check. Like it was probably 3 times what my normal one is because of the IOU. But even still, not consistent. I can't bank on the fact that I'm gonna make $1,000 every week in my tips, but I will say I averaged that. So, which is still really good income, given that that's just my tips. Like $50,000 a year ain't bad, but at the same time, I'm still skating by because it's not enough to be like substantial income. Again, like San Francisco, $100,000 a year, you're in poverty still, which is just remarkable to hear. Like somebody making twice as much as me is impoverished and possibly living in their car, because the rent there is just so astronomical and sad.
Right.
Can I just buy San Francisco if I win the lottery? Like, wait, can I buy like a quarter of it? How much does $1.4 billion get me in San Francisco? Like 2 blocks?
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, if I were honest to God really won this thing, even a wholesome chunk of it, you can count on the fact that Forrest is going to be throwing y'all some bones. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm serious.
Help me publish my book, Forrest. That's why I have the AC Allen on my screen.
No, dude, no, I'm serious. You and Husby would be moving into a new freaking home. Everybody on the screen, you get a home, and you get a home.
You get a house.
You get a home.
You get a house with no mortgage or PMI.
Wow, Metso said I'd pay Mark Hamill to surprise Van.
But not me. I've got the Luke Skywalker lightsaber, and you wouldn't have him surprise me. There, mommy, what's wrong with you? I swear, I am the ass of her jokes tonight.
Wow. You know, I've often wondered, you know, with all the billionaires and stuff on the planet, how come they don't just buy shit and pay for shit and fix things up? Every once in a while we'll hear
because they don't
of
have
some
to.
philanthropists.
They don't
I
wanna.
know they don't have to, but when you realize like they have so much money that even in doing these things, it's money they will never know is even gone.
No, I know, but here's the thing: you're also supposing that people that make that kind of money actually give a fuck about other people, and I can guarantee you they don't. They absolutely do not. You do not attain that level of wealth income by having a fucking conscience or a soul. So yeah,
I want to Google real quick how many billionaires are on the planet.
Oh,
like 12. And even I'm sure there's more than that, but even still, it's an astronomically small amount of people. And the sad truth is that they have convinced themselves that they deserve that money, that nobody else does, and that really the rest of us are just fodder for their machines to keep.
Dude, there are 3,311 billionaires.
I didn't expect that number.
3,000.
How many are from Dubai? I'm guessing a third.
Now look up how many 8-digit a year YouTubers there are.
What is 8 digits?
That would be
millions?
the tens of millions. Tens of millions. How many YouTubers make over $10 million or are worth over $10 million?
God.
This is gonna piss me off. I'm asking for this to piss me off. It's gonna piss me off. Watch. It's gonna happen.
I mean, you can probably name a couple, right?
Mr. Beast.
There you go.
Markiplier.
Yep.
Highest paid. The 23
PewDiePie
earned 54.
Yeah, and again, I look at that and go, well, how is that worth that much money? I just ads. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
We're funnier. Come on.
The 20 richest. Okay, I'm not getting a direct answer right now, but I'm looking.
It's fine. I don't trust. It makes me think about some other people that are famous on TikTok for shit that I look at and go, how are you famous for this when you're not entertaining or funny? And how are you not being canceled for some of the shit you do?
Yeah,
when anybody else would,
right?
Because oh god, I don't even want to mention their name.
Disgusted.
It's a topic for another day. It's a topic for another day when I'm in drag, so I can make my point very valid and
yeah, there's a lot of systems. There's a lot of things that can be changed. I've always been an advocate of volunteering, and I know a lot of what I do is not going to change the world, but if I can change a small little tiny corner of the
small
world,
acts of kindness are where it starts, and that's the important kind of fucking people. Because you know what, you don't even know the kind of effect that you have on random people in your life. Like I've had so many just completely random strangers that I interact with on a regular basis. I'm a bartender. People come into my bar, we have a drink, we talk, but it's the sheer amount of people that will come to me later and be like, you don't know how much your kindness makes my day better, or how much it means to me that I have you to There's this one lady that was like, I walk through life, and after losing my mother and my sister and these people, that people just don't even see me. And when I come in, you know what I want to drink, you know exactly what I like to eat. We have this thing. You make me feel validated as a person. And it's like I'm doing the bare minimum, which is me being like a nice person that genuinely wants people to have a good time. But the fact that it means that much to them, like means that much then to me, and it makes me fucking want to cry about it. Just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Janice. I had no idea. How are you doing? But yeah, it starts with the small acts of kindness. Like you have to hold open the door for another person, or be, not an asshole on a regular basis.
Yeah.
People are such assholes. There's like so many times that they do stuff that I just go, why would you act like that or talk like that or conduct yourself that way? Who raised you? Like, it's a legitimate question. Sorry, that was my rant.
That's the problem with like, I even watched I even was watching like a little short clip on it today about how there was like it was just this last Halloween, and this woman had a Ring camera on, and she had a bucket of candy out there, and a kid comes up and she's like, now just take one piece, okay? And like he literally like stands there, he dumps the whole bag and then gives her the finger and runs off. And I was like, and that's what makes it difficult to do these acts of kindness, is that that somebody out there is just going to fuck you over and make it, so that you can't even do the act of kindness for the people that need it.
And that's why I told you have to still charge them rent and put that shit in an account. Oh, God.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Mezzo's idea was to get a space for homeless people, like a shelter or a locker or something where they can receive showers and free clothes. That would be a great idea. Like that gets staged for views, though.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, how many takes are they doing it in? Like 20?
Yeah, good point. Lot of staged cruelty.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The TikTokers with the
the TikTokers setting up those spots where everybody's being mean to each other. A lot of that is staged for views and likes and follows and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm gonna follow this channel.
What's up, Janina?
Well, okay, the TikTokers that show themselves like giving a lot of money to random strangers is also seeking attention. That's not doing a good deed. That's doing it for the views and the clicks and the likes. It's still a hollowed thing where you're not doing it for just being genuine or being nice. You do it because, oh, look at how good I am. Everyone should subscribe. That way I can get all the money I paid these people back.
Right. Yeah, a lot of those, I guess, are staged too. That often makes me wonder, like, okay, great example. I was watching one the other day where it was, and I know you've seen it a million times, but it's the supposed gold digger video where like the girl won't talk to him because she thinks he's poor, and then all of a sudden he goes to step into a Lamborghini or something, and now she wants to talk to him. We've seen these videos a million times, and they're obviously fake. But why then do they get 5 million views?
Because people are stupid,
and they spread it around.
But
people share it. People share that stuff all the time. And it just gets view after view after view. And it ends up on timelines.
It's not anything different or original. I've seen that video a million times by a million different people with a million girls and a million hot cars. So you doing another one isn't making, but somehow they still get views.
Well, it's because once something reaches so many views, it ends up in an algorithm, and then it ends up in somebody's For You. Wow. So that's how it works. So
how do we do that shit?
Drama.
Figure out the algorithm.
Screw you, Graveyard. I'm gonna start drama on the show right now.
Topic.
You have an ugly beard.
Oh, where's distance nerding Phil?
Yeah. Wow.
We're starting fights.
Because Phil said that we're beautiful bearded men. That's what Phil said.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sticking with it.
So, Dr. Sabers says, "What are your thoughts on $8 a month for Twitter verification?"
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
if
think
you
that
ask Stephen
Twitter
King,
should just be like deleted. Like, I think that Twitter is the worst thing that's ever met humanity, and it should just go away. I don't like Twitter. I think it's twitarded.
Oh man.
And I can say that I rode the short bus for 3 fucking goddamn years. I don't want to
you're
hear
gonna
it.
get us canceled.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. That's
Like
what gets
Lizzo.
us views.
We'll have
Get
to
me
change our
fucking
lyrics
canceled.
and shit.
I said twitarded. It's a fucking made up word. Goddamn.
So
I'll use it.
what is the verification exactly?
To verify like celebrities and big name figures that can say, hey, you get that little blue check mark next to your name,
Right.
saying that Mark Hamill is Mark Hamill.
So they would
and
have
stuff
to
like
pay
that.
money to say that they're themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing makes sense anymore.
That's like bribing the guard at the gate. It really is. Are you who you say you are? Here.
Yep.
Here's $8 in case I'm not, or even if I'm not.
It's ridiculous.
I don't have
Time for a segue.
use Twitter. Yeah.
Is it?
Segue into other important topics about how wealth inequality is really the X factor that we should be talking about more often, but we don't.
We're like 10 minutes early into the next segment already. You guys are ready for damn. Hold on, I gotta get all these sex
I
bots.
told you we should talk more about No Shave November. The lottery was not that interesting.
Well, I mean, eventually it was going to derail into we're all mad because we're poor.
Yeah,
So-
it's true. It's true.
I mean, that's kind of a in
It was
speaking
the
of which, I
best
should
of
probably
times.
put this
It
up.
was the
We're not
worst
affiliated with
times. It was
Lucasfilms.
2022.
Just in case there was any doubt as to whether Lucas would produce this, we are not affiliated with Lucasfilms.
No,
All right.
we are not.
Let me get these new comments up, and I will get us to the news section. Damn it. Okay.
I'm waiting for the Force Wars. All right, now it's time to go into the next section.
Dun, 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 dun.
You have the
Talking
much
about-
better voice for this shit. I can't do it all. I'm sorry.
Seriously, all I do is just copy the old Dragon Ball Z announcer guy. That's all it is. That's all it is. If you go back and listen to that
That's
guy
good to
and me
know.
do it, it's the exact same voice.
I feel like Mezzo said something about like taking my charge up voice for a sound clip last week.
She did, and she made the clip.
I need that for like text message alerts.
All right. Our next topic for the evening: healthcare in America. Holy crap.
I'm going to hand this topic right off to Anthony and sit back with my popcorn.
Wow.
Okay, so as somebody who, as I said before, has like epic foot pain, that's a recurring issue. First of all, it's a thing that I've seen several doctors over. Okay. I've gone to podiatrists after podiatrists. I've gone to urgent care several times. I just have this thing that like randomly my foot's crippling pain. Like I can't walk on it. I can't do anything. It's not super swollen. It's not anything like that, but like it hurts and I can't work. And of course the first like 3 doctors did the same thing. Like, well, maybe it's gout. It's not. I can guarantee you it's not. It's
Sounds
not
like fluffy.
gout. But obviously that's the first go-to. Oh, there's a pain in your foot. It hurts a lot. Well, I guess it must be because you just, eat terrible food. And so I did the blood test, and sure enough, it came back that it's not gout. I do have a huge vitamin D deficiency, but that's because I avoid the sun like the plague. And that's how I keep my youthful good looks in my late 30s, because I'm almost 40, people. I know.
And you look fantastic.
Thank you. I think so. I've met
Maybe
people
he's born with
I
it.
go, damn. Anywho, at the same time, like trying to see any professional, like it's all out of pocket. I don't
Yeah.
make not enough to qualify for Obamacare. Even when I did approach that for Covered California, it was well, you make a certain amount that we can't just cover you, but you can get a plan where you pay $30 a month, and the state of California will pay $300 a month, and you will have coverage that you have a $7,000 deductible. To which I then say, what the fuck is the point?
Okay.
Because if I have a $7,000 deductible and I'm paying $30 a month, that's still me just throwing money into something that I'm not getting any benefit for. It's not lowering my costs. It's not matching anything that I'm doing. It's literally, you have to pay this amount before we give a fuck and actually pay into it. And that's not an amount that's astronomical enough that like what I need done is going to ever cover. I will always end up paying that $7,000 or, you know, however much. And if I had $7,000 for healthcare needs, I would just put that into a bank account and go see a goddamn doctor. But even the ones that I went to, so I saw a podiatrist, and she finally was the one that like took a look at me, examined my feet, and went, okay, I know exactly what you're suffering from. So obviously I've known for a while I have plantar fasciitis. I have very high arches.
Oh.
Which, yeah, it just sucks. Just sucks.
I'm so sorry.
But beyond that, I also have this condition called sesamoiditis. And what sesamoiditis is that there's a cluster of tendons. So say this is my foot. This is like my big toe or whatever. They cluster right here under the ball of the foot and just randomly get inflamed. And it's something that will flare up. And even she said there is no permanent fix. You will suffer from this, and you can get cortisone shots that might alleviate it. You can get custom insoles that might help alleviate it. And even if you get surgery, there are a plethora of other things that are going to then affect you as a result of that surgery. So really what I'm told is I'm screwed no matter what. I paid for those $400 fucking insoles. They did a custom casting of my feet, to which I found out that my left foot has a significantly higher arch than my right. I waited double the time that I was told it was going to take to get those insoles. I had to keep calling that doctor's office and say, hey, so what's the status on my order? Oh, well, we don't know. So why don't you know? Oh, well, you know, because it's the company and this and this and that. Okay, so can I get an estimation on the time it's going to take me to get the thing that I've already paid $200 for? Because that's what I had to do. I had to pay half of it up front. And then by the time my stuff came in, I was already pissed off because I had to hit them up constantly and go, so where's my shit at? Where are my insoles? Where are the things that are going to help fix me and my issue? And then finally I got the call. Okay, we finally got them in. They're correct now. You can come in. And they wanted to charge me like a $75 visitation fee just to walk in the building to pick up the other, you know, half of my payment for the thing. So I even said, can I just pay for the other half of my insoles and go, please? Well, no, you still have to pay a visit fee because we need you to see the doctor. Okay, but why? Why? So she can watch me walk up and down a hallway and give a fuck less? Because right now I just want to pay for the other half of my product and go. Well, no, we can't do it that way. Okay, so it took twice as long as you told me it would. Where do I get a benefit as a consumer? Are you going to give me a discount on these?
Right.
Oh, no, well, we can't do that because that's what the company. Okay, so then message the fucking company that made them and say, hey, this is not okay. Give them a fucking discount. Well, we can't do that. Oh, okay, so you just don't care. You don't care that it's still going to cost me the same amount. You're still going to cost me an extra $100 to just set foot in the building and still give me a product that wasn't even good. Because I'll tell you this. I paid those $400 for this fucking insoles. I got them. I put them in my shoes. They sucked. They did not work. They were worse than the ones I got from Good Feet. My feet have weird high arches, and I know that. I probably damaged them from doing martial arts and dance for so long because those were barefoot things on a floor, so no arch support. And getting these things and putting them in my shoes, I instantaneously felt like my feet were doing this, and they should be doing this because my arch support needs to be here, and it wasn't. So I paid all this money for nothing. And then, you know, I bitched and moaned to the doctor at that day, like, hey, you know, I shouldn't have to pay for a doctor's visit. for the inconvenience I've gotten to have to be on top of your staff to actually call and let me know when I'm getting my product. And they said, okay, you're good to go. You know, you're fine. I didn't pay anything. And then 2 hours later called me and said, oh, hey, so we talked to the doctor, and instead of a $75 visitation fee, we've decided that you only owe us $50.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, excuse me? And they're like, well, yeah, so you still owe us $50. Would you like to pay that now? No, you told me I was good to go. You let me walk out that building.
Wow.
Well, just to let you know, if you do come back to visit us, you still owe us that $50. And so I was like, okay, so let me understand this. By that claim right there, if I don't come back and see you, does that mean I don't owe you money right now? Well,
they'll bill you. They'll mail it to you.
Okay, then I guess I'm not coming back. Bye. Click.
Wow.
No, the American healthcare institution is terrible right now because every other developed country doesn't pay for it. Like, go to Europe, they don't pay for it. Go to Canada, they don't pay for it. And people who are like upset about, oh God, we can't give health care to everyone. That would just be wrong. They're the people who have paid thousands of dollars for plans that don't give a fuck about them either. And they somehow think, oh, well, you know, I paid this money for something that doesn't really benefit me, but because I paid for that, you can't give it to people for free. Well, you know, that would just be terrible.
What I love is the people that are already on the Medicare system or Medicaid saying you can't give away shit for free. Motherfucker, you're already receiving free assistance.
Oh, my favorite are the evangelicals. Like, you can't do that. That's socialism. But what would Jesus do? Care for the needy, the sick, the hungry, and the poor. What does that sound like? Socialism?
Yeah, you know, there's too many people making money. That's the problem. I've long
the problem is there's too many sick people that can't get access to healthcare because it's literally that or pay their fucking rent.
Right. Well, and that's the problem. I've long thought that there are 3 areas that we should never ever make a profit. One is education. One is the jail system, and the other one is healthcare, because all 3 of those go along towards our pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So we should not be making a profit from any of those 3 institutions.
I've said this on this show too, where it's healthcare, housing, and education. Those 3 things should not be subject to capitalism, because unfortunately people exploit that shit heavily.
Right.
I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again.
Do it again!
If everybody had access to proper freaking nutrition, nobody would require this crazy ass healthcare. We would not need pills if we didn't have instant crap to eat.
Oh,
period.
Man. I just took I started this whole thing, like our local Facebook group, but I took a picture of like our kids at the school that I teach at. Like their breakfast, they literally, and they don't get a choice. It's not like they can go to the cafeteria and choose to get apple or something fresh. They're just given a bag and you either eat it or you don't eat it. But it had donuts in it, an apple, a juice box, and a milk. That was breakfast. That's what California, now it may be different in the states that you guys live, but in where we live, one of the things that I love is California has recently passed laws that require every child get free breakfast and lunch. Unfortunately, their requirements of what constitutes a well-rounded meal is not the same as other people.
Oh, I have a fun story about that from middle school.
Really quickly, when I posted that, I had some people like bitching that they were like, if you don't like it, you should provide something for your own kids. Well, first off, this is not about my child. My child does not go to that school. My child, and I have food here. If he is hungry, I can provide that for my child. Not every family is in that same position though, and some kids, this is the only thing that they're going to get all day long. And secondly, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
It's all the weed, man. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop that sometimes.
Yeah, food is medicine. Yeah. Oh, secondly, I was thinking, like when I went to school to become a preschool teacher, we were taught that nutrition is one of the cornerstones to proper education. If a child is eating just all crap, then they're not going to be able to process, the all the information that they're supposed to at school. So if we are supposed to be in education, a place that is of education, then why are we feeding this garbage to the kids? I mean, like, even their lunch, they had a choice of either. Oh no, not a choice. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they get what are those Crustables, peanut butter and jelly Crustables,
Oh my gosh.
and on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday they get pizza, either cheese or pepperoni. That's about as much.
What do you do if there's a kid who's allergic to nuts or lactose intolerant? I mean,
there's like apples in the bag sometimes.
So carbs and trans fat, carbs and more trans fat. Gotcha.
And milk. Yep, it's all like I looked at. I have photos of this. It's like 80% of the breakfast is sugar, or of the lunch too, is sugar.
Well, and trust, even Eli's back here saying, healthy people still get cancer. You can still eat really, really healthy and still end up at the butt of the healthcare system because it does not care about you. It cares about profits.
Right.
It cares about taking a drug that was, financed by the people and then having some asshole CEO go, well, I'm going to mark it up 280,000% because I can. You need this to live. We pay 8 times the amount for insulin that another country does next door, and it's the same fucking shit. Like, again, drug prices are way too high, and it's the same stuff as what's up north or down south. People have tourism for medical procedures because you can pay a third of what you pay in the States and get better care and full-time, like 5-star accommodations for your recovery in another country. That right there is sad. And it's sad that the American people are like okay with that because they're fucking brainwashed to think that way. Like, well, I pay so much for this, and so therefore I nobody else should have access to that.
I saw this thing, and I don't know if it's true, but I bet you I would be willing to believe it's true. But it said that if you had to get, say, hip replacement surgery, it's literally cheaper to go to Spain, get a hotel, vacation for a month, then go get the surgery and fly back than it is to get the surgery here.
Yeah, it is. It is. Same thing for any like dental procedures. If you're in California and you need like a root canal that you can't afford, go to fucking Tijuana. They will do it for like a fifth of the price, and it will be just as good care, if not better.
Right. Well, you hear about or I've seen news stories about they have like caravans of people that go to like Canada just to buy insulin, so that they can come back here and distribute it at a decent price.
Yeah, why is that not like an automatic thing for the government to just be like, hi, you can't charge this much for it. It's not that hard to produce. Well, yeah, again, the government don't care about us. That's for damn sure. But that's what we, the people, should be demanding. Make insulin affordable, make EpiPens affordable, make things that are basic care affordable. It should not cost me $100 to go see some random person to look at my foot and go, well, it's fucked up, all right. And then just write me here's 5 days off of work because all you can do is rest up and ice it.
Right. Janita is saying that people will sue at the drop of the hat. And yet I know when my mom had a legitimate medical concern, I couldn't get a fucking lawyer to touch the case. I literally tried for like a year to get a lawyer, but nobody would take on a medical case against Kaiser. It's
because it's Kaiser.
Right.
Kaiser's fucking terrible.
Right. In my mom's particular case, she had to go in the emergency room. She knew she had diabetes, but she had a failing kidney that she didn't know about. and she needed to get emergency. She had to start dialysis. So this was the first time she went into the hospital. At first, they put a port near her belly, and then they moved it up to her heart. And then the third, she was in the hospital for nearly a week. Then the third and final step was they were going to put a port in her arm, and that was where she was going to be able to receive dialysis. Well, many years before, she had gotten surgery because she had carpal tunnel syndrome, and I guess when they went to put the port in the arm, they nicked a nerve, and when she woke up, her left hand, her entire hand looked like a sausage. Her fingers were swollen, and then the hospital discharged her the day after that surgery without any pain pills for that hand. And I remember this was like 2 days before Thanksgiving, because I had an almost impossible time getting her any kind of pain medication that would help for the pain she was having. When it turns out she had lost the use of her left hand. They had cut a nerve, and she could no longer move the fingers in her hand. And we had thought that this was just a side effect of the surgery. But a week later, when we had a physical therapist come to the house as like a follow-up, and she saw my mom's hand, that she like freaked out immediately. She was supposed to be there to help my mom with walking issues, stability walking, but when she saw the hand, and my mom said, yeah, I haven't been able to move it since I left the hospital. She was like, if we don't start physical therapy on that hand, you will never be able to use it again. It'll just stay like, almost in a claw. And I tried to get a lawyer for a year. Nobody would go near this case. Even though, she had use of her hand before she went in the hospital. And when she came out, she no longer had use of her hand.
Well, I mean, the sad truth of that is also because of the fact that there's a lot of people who finish medical school that aren't necessarily good doctors.
Right.
And I mean, we've even seen this recently where like there was a huge protest at a college because they didn't like this doctor because of how hard his class was. And they demanded he get fired. And at the same time, it's like, well, maybe you just were all really bad at doing your fucking medical school work. And this is why we have so many terrible fucking doctors. We have plenty of people who pass through the system that go through these things and just either don't really pay attention because they're not willing to invest themselves that much, or they misdiagnose things or make these mistakes and have zero accountability. So, I mean, to Janina's comment about, well, it's because of all these malpractice suits. What malpractice suits are happening that aren't valid that are contributing to that versus the ones that like clearly are valid and are part of this? If you couldn't get one for that, I mean, dear God, who are the people who are actually winning? The ones that like, oh, the doctor sewed a sponge into me when they were finishing up surgery because they were just drunk from the night before? I don't know.
That's a scary thought.
Very,
and I'm sure there's a ton of people taking advantage of the system and having all kinds of crazy false claims because they think they can get money for the doctor.
Insurance industry for cars and whatnot. I've had that happen to me a few times where like a fender bender turns into, oh, well, they're suing your insurance for $10,000 for, soft tissue damage, even though the whole accident was very highly suspect for the way that it happened. I had it happen once where like somebody randomly turned from a right-hand lane in front of the car in front of me to make a left-hand turn at a light that was just completely not okay. And instead of like swerving or doing anything that would be normal, this person just locked it up and I hit them. And they had a history of having these lawsuits like ready the next day with a doctor's note, with an injury statement, wanting all this money. And none of that was somehow admissible in court when it came to my case about like, well, even though there's a whole clear history of them doing this to take advantage of the system, none of that's admissible enough to literally tell them, no, you can't do this. So there are holes in our system all over the place that don't make any fucking sense, that literally people take advantage of. And the ones that do take advantage of it make it worse for the rest of us. Hands down. For sure.
Right. It is definitely an issue. What is
Graveyard, you're really quiet, and it's
Yes.
constantly making me feel like
No.
very, very. And there's now an Aubrey. Hi.
Aubrey. I mean, I can tell you some of my experiences with healthcare with my kids being born.
Do it.
That's
Please.
so when my first kid was born, at that time I was self-employed because through my job I had a non-compete in place. I couldn't be hired by the company I was at for a year, so I had to buy my own insurance. And just got married, and hey, we need to have maternity coverage and all that stuff for my wife and stuff like that. They go, yeah, sure, we got it. Perfect, taken care of. She gets pregnant. We start going to see the doctor. Like, oh, you don't have maternity coverage. Like, I paid you guys to do this. I set it up. You're supposed to check the boxes and take care of it. No, you don't have it. But you can back pay us $600 a month for it.
What?
Yeah. So my first kid, we paid out of pocket completely everything.
It was like $20,000, wasn't it?
Yeah. The crazy thing is, my wife's covered, and when the kid's born, they're covered. The process of getting a covered person out of a covered person isn't covered, which is insane to me.
That is weird.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive. And like I said, all out of pocket. And the doctor we were seeing is like, well, you can give us payments each month to lead it up to the delivery.
No.
I go, okay. I didn't have much of another choice. And then when my second kid was born, my wife liked the doctor. He's like, okay, but you have to do the same thing. You have to give me $3,000 a month up front before delivery. I go, I have maternity coverage. Yeah, you still have to do that. I go, no, I don't. So I'm like, see ya, I'm going somewhere else. And with the insurance I had, my second kid only cost me $50.
Oh wow.
I'm like, that's a huge difference for me.
Yeah, I bet. I bet if I could have a kid for $50 fucking dollars, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, and
insurance is such in a lot of ways, it's such a scam.
Yeah. Well, at
Sorry, I'm late to the party, guys. I apologize.
Right.
Hi, Aubrey. You are late to
Aubrey.
the party. How are you? I need another girl.
No, you need another girl.
I only portray one occasionally, and I took a break this week, and thank God I did, because I could not have walked on Wednesday. I really couldn't have.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I had one job that was yearly insurance costs out of pocket. This is not including deductibles or doctor visits or copays. Was $17,000 a year.
Oh God!
Plus a $10,000 deductible. Plus, when my three kids would go at the same time to see the same pediatrician, 3 separate doctor visit copays. They're all in one session.
There's no benefit to it. There's no benefit to having fucking insurance. I swear to God.
Yeah.
No, they're really it's ridiculous. It should be paid. I'm of the opinion it should be paid through taxes, and it should be it should be all right. Because we're dead last in healthcare still. Mm-hmm. Even though we have the quote unquote best care, we don't. It's a lie. It's a freaking lie. And I always go back to there was this woman who was an American. She visited Sweden. She's in Sweden, and she had to go in for her checkup for a breast exam, right? And they found the lump, and they're like, okay, so we found the lump. We should go make sure that's not cancer. And they're like, she's like, okay, so when should I, so the doctor started to leave, and then she's like, okay, I guess I'm going to go and make an appointment. I don't even know, because I'm here for a couple months. I don't know when this is. She's kind of freaking out. And then the doctor comes in and goes, you're not going to follow me? She's like, what do you mean? She goes, we're going to do a biopsy. She's like, wait, you don't have to. It's like, no, we got everything. We could do it later this afternoon. Are you free this afternoon? Or we could do it right now. She's like, what? And they gave her the biopsy, and she got her results within 30 minutes.
Wow.
Life-saving. And then she didn't even have insurance because she wasn't a resident, but she got the bill, and it was $25 because she was not a resident. That is how you do healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the very least, any preventative care should be free. regardless of
agree.
anything.
It should be because
Yeah.
we
At the
should not
minimum,
be sick as a nation.
Fucking dental. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Dental
because
maladies
dental is healthcare.
suffer from because of dental should be part of healthcare. Same thing with vision, same thing with hearing. Like all of it should be included, and just basic shit should be like a total thing that nobody gives a fuck about. And yet it's not. It's something we all have to pay hundreds of dollars for.
No,
just
I
to get checked out.
so
Yeah,
I
wouldn't-
agree, and highlight Saber, but I completely agree. Absolutely. I mean, I have a friend who had to wait 3 freaking weeks to get hers, and they scheduled her out like 2 months from the
And
time
for-
that they felt to get the biopsy. It was 2
And
months.
for some
and
things,
then
that's not enough time. That's too late.
it's too late. And her mother died from breast cancer because they waited too long for her test to get her test done, to get the results because of insurance. It's bullshit.
Oh,
It's
insurance
absolute
is the
bullshit.
biggest problem.
And preventative care, there are so many things that people died of in America that are completely preventable and easy if they just got caught in time. And it's because of the way that, like, okay, we have to go and do this and do that. It took me a month to get an ENT to see what was happening with my voice, and that's like my livelihood. It sucks.
I had I used to work for a family who had an older well, not older, he was 20 at the time, special needs gentleman. He was verbal, but not very much. He couldn't really hold conversations with you, constantly flapping and moving, couldn't control himself. He was literally constantly moving. And I remember one time when for a period, he started getting violent with with me and with the other caretakers. And because he's not verbal, he can't explain what's going on. Come to find out what it was, and imagine trying to figure out, narrow down these lists of what could possibly be wrong with someone when they can't tell you what's wrong. But it was his wisdom teeth were growing in sideways.
God, yeah.
Yeah, so he had to, he was taking it out on us because he didn't know how else to, to get out. So anyways, because he is special needs and because he was also not a child, he was an adult that was outside of the system, the insurance that she had would only cover doctors in Solano County. However, there were no specialists for doctors of people with special needs in Solano County because he couldn't just go to a regular doctor with all the moving and flapping, and also with his occasional violent tendencies. He couldn't go to a typical doctor. He had to go to one who specialized in these kind of cases. Of course, the only one in Northern California is in Oakland, so now she's got to get her insurance company to cover it in another county, and for that county to accept it. So by the time we figured it out, this poor kid had already been suffering with this for months, and now it took another 2 to 3 months just to work out the insurance, just so we could go see the doctor.
Yeah, I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out separately. And this was after they were really
I was told initially I didn't have any wisdom teeth and that I was lucky. And then like 3 years later, I had an impacted wisdom tooth that came out of nowhere. I had the most excruciating pain of my life.
Awful.
Went in to see a doctor. They said, you need emergency oral surgery like tomorrow. And I mean, that happened the next day. Again, my mom paid for it out of pocket because she was there to help me, which thank God for that. But it was one of the things that at the time, like, how did my dentist not know that I did had all these wisdom teeth? He would tell me that I didn't. And it's like, well, no, you have 4 and one of them's impacted. Now we're going to take all 4 of them out and it needs to happen tomorrow. And it was one of those things that like I had a singing event later that weekend. I was supposed to sing for a pageant. I was like, what am I supposed to do about this? They're like, you need to tell them to find somebody else because you need emergency oral surgery to remove your 4 wisdom teeth because they are now impacting you and it's going to be an issue. And even that whole process, like when I went to the coordinators, I was like, hi, so yeah, I have to have my wisdom teeth removed. And I didn't know I even had any. And I'm not going to be able to sing this weekend for you. And they're like, oh, you should be fine by then.
Wow.
I'm not going to be. So how about I provide you with somebody else I know? Well, no, you should be okay. And it's like, bitch, I look like a fucking chipmunk right now. Fuck you. I'm going to rest and recover. But dear God, it was some of the worst shit of my life. And even then, they prescribed me with like generic Vicodin or something, and it did nothing. Like I had the worst pain going on. I could not deal with it. And eventually I went to my surgeon. I was like, hey, so I'm sorry. Like, I'm not this kind of person, but this Vicodin is not cutting it. Like I'm still having constant agonizing pain. And they're like, well, what do you want from us? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Something better? What do you want from me? They're like, well, what kind of medication do you want? I was like, I don't know, because I don't take medication on a regular. Can you maybe tell me what else I could have? Because this isn't working. And then they're like, okay, so we're going to prescribe you a generic form of Percocet. Here you go. And like that worked. That worked, because then at least it was like, okay, I could take one and not deal with this. Thank you for getting that to me after the fact. Thank you for treating me like a junkie when I was telling you this isn't working for me, and I was fucking hurt all the time.
Right.
Assholes.
Right.
So I have a question for you. I don't know where all you really live. I know some of you are in the central part of your state. I live on the border of 2 states. And
that's fun.
Yeah, so insurance sucks.
Yeah.
Because I was working in downtown Chicago, and I had my first panic attack. Didn't know what it was. Thought I was dying. And the ambulance ride, because I was out of state, even though like by 5 miles from the state, was $1,000 just for the ambulance.
Oh,
Jesus. Yeah. They're
Wait, that's what it is in California for like or in town.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like with because I primarily live in a different state from where I work. I've done that most of my career, and I always get the other state's insurance, and the in-network versus out-network you have to be very careful of because of where I live. That you're on that straddling that line. I go, more likely I'm gonna get hurt while at work in a different state, and having that insurance travel, the universal healthcare, you should be able to go to any state in the same country and have the same coverage.
Right.
Hands down.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't have that because each state has, where I'm at, has their own insurance plan for the same company. Like, let's say Anthem, right? They have their own different states. I don't know if you guys have Anthem and where you're at, and if they're
Anthem Blue Cross.
Yeah. Is it a per state? Like, could you go across the state border, and would that be out of network for you guys automatically?
I'm sure if I was out of county, it would issue a prompt for me. But again, I don't pay into an insurance company because I can't afford it, and it doesn't really seem to benefit me. Like this is where I feel, again, this should be a human right to have access to healthcare. And for those people who out there bitching about like, oh, you can't just have all the poor people have coverage. If you want to pay extra money for something like Blue Cross, Blue Shield, whatever these other things that put you in the front of the line or whatever, then okay, let's make that happen. You want to pay extra hundreds of dollars a month so you can have first care priority, sure. Let's do that. But let's not deny people access to having diagnostics, preventative care, or like just basic treatment, like to have like an X-ray or an MRI be something that costs them hundreds of dollars just because they need that to know what's wrong with them. Like I've had an MRI done on my foot, and even then they're like, well, we can't tell much from it. So all the soft tissue injuries that you have, like, well, it sucks for you. We can't diagnose anything from this. Thank you for your $700 payment. That was great of you. Okay, bye.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If at least preventative care, then you can stop, hopefully catch all the stuff. So really, it saves everyone money in the long run. It saves insurance companies in the long run. Just
Yeah,
to have it there.
They want to make money.
It's not just that. It's not just that, but it's the entire health of your country. If everybody in your country is healthy, then you can be a more productive workforce, thereby increasing your GDP. If people didn't have to take sick days off from work or worry about going to the doctor because they can't afford it, so now they got a cancer in the body that's just getting worse and worse, but they're afraid to even go to the doctor because of what that's going to cost. Right. I mean, it just seems to me that from an economic point of view, it makes sense to have a healthy work, or a healthy
Well, from an
citizenship.
economic point of view, if you want to be like other countries and have them be healthy, productive people, we would not have the 40-hour work week, and we would also have more paid time off.
Absolutely.
People in
I mean,
America.
we're also the only country that doesn't do that.
Yeah.
That where vacations are seen as, oh my goodness, and what are
God,
sick
how
days?
dare
And
you take time off for
how
yourself?
dare you?
Do something fun.
And this is why you have people quiet quitting.
Jesus
Vacation,
Christ,
I
lightsaber.
No,
am-
yeah, I went back to that. It's true. I did.
in my
you
line of
reading
field, this is always on me, even on vacation. I have to be reached all the time.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that shit. If I'm on vacation that I've requested that time off and I get a call from work, I am gonna send that straight to voicemail and talk to you back when I'm on the clock. I'm not dealing with that. Figure it out.
Yeah.
If I'm so essential that you have to call me on my time off, pay me more fucking money. And if not, well, then I guess you can figure it the fuck out because you're just all a bunch of adults that are in the building. I'm not there.
Are you guys reading these jokes that are coming in?
I am
from
reading
Lightsaber?
these jokes, and I'm just.
Is that Saber Paul? Is this Paul? Dude, my God, dude! When I read the first one, I was like, "What?" And then I realized it said, "True story. If you have a bladder problem, then you're in trouble." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude!" And then it just keeps going. Takes guts
the
to be a Morgan
puns, the
Nolan.
puns. I don't know who lightsaber is, but these are dad jokes all the way.
That's great.
Is Forza, you writing all these down?
Shut up, Graveyard.
I mean, this is why I think that it's really important that we should have them through taxes or something. That way, you're still paying into it, but everybody.
What's up, Thomas?
Hey, Thomas.
It's the argument that people have.
For a fucking military for that to balance out, though, right?
And they do it in other countries.
No, they do it in other countries. It's fine. Like
Well,
even they
because-
even have they're free college, and they have. I mean, it gets paid through taxes, and yes, your taxes are higher, but that goes somewhere. You have a healthier country, like in Germany, they have it.
That scares people. The higher taxes to pay for this stuff.
Which is ridiculous.
Pay higher taxes to the people making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like we did that prior to 1980.
1980, yeah.
For sure. Like
before Reaganomics. I mean, people were paying up. And
well, it's true.
People are the 1%.
Taxes for people who are already wealthy. It'll eventually come down to you. None of that's ever been proven.
It's never true.
It's like so
they keep the money.
Stupid.
I mean, why did Bezos, who made $8 trillion, pay nothing for taxes? Because he had all those loopholes. Fantastic. All that could have gone back in the system if he paid, even if he paid 90% in taxes. That he still would have made more money than everybody in America.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Sorry,
ridiculous.
That would have paid for our health care.
Have a maximum wage versus a minimum wage. We should really cap it off at some point. Of hi, if you make like $8.2 million in a day, I think you're done. And everything else after that, like you should just go ahead.
We used to have that up until Reaganomics happened, but it's why when a lot of times and I really don't want.
That's why the 1950s and the 1960s were the best times for America.
I just think it's funny that when Trump had his slogan "Make America Great Again," the time period he was talking about was when people were paying their higher taxes. People that were making over $300,000 a year were paying up to 70-80% of their money in taxes.
But they were also still making it.
But the trade-off was that we had college that was affordable for almost everybody.
Houses were affordable. Housing was affordable.
You could buy a fucking hot rod with a summer job. That was part-time.
Everything was affordable. Like, it was so much more. Yeah, I agree. You have to include the offshore accounts. That was something that Reaganomics put into place. That was.
I'm strongly. You can call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I'm of the strong belief that the pharmaceuticals companies and the food industry work together because, like I've often thought, Force will be a great one to talk about this. But we talked a lot about fasting, right, and all the benefits that can occur. From fasting, and
this is my CAT scan. Sorry.
If all of these benefits are available literally for free, then why are doctors prescribing all these drugs that they know will not prevent the disease from happening, it only
It only
minimizes
cure
some of the pain
the
or
symptoms.
some of
Yeah.
the symptoms of it. A lot of times giving you other symptoms in the process.
Oh, I have that. That's for sure.
But the whole point of the matter is like why this is why I totally feel like, you know, the reason why McDonald's can get away with feeding us crap and, you know, all the soda companies and things like that is, first off, if you ever
Lobbying.
tried taking Coca-Cola away from Americans, I'm sure, you know, you saw how people went crazy over having to wear a fucking mask. Can you imagine if you told them, I'm no longer going to be able to make sugary sodas will now
I
be
mean, if you
illegal in
took
the
away
United
fucking
States.
cigarettes from people, they would lose their minds, and that's like proven to cause cancer. So I mean,
Yep.
the problem with America is that you can't take away my freedom to destroy my body. Like that's for damn sure. But yeah, it's sad that a Happy Meal full of preservatives and crap that's literally poison for the body is more affordable than going to buy like organic salad mix from the neighboring Walmart. Like the cost of food right now is so astronomically sad high. It literally costs me less to go out to eat than to buy food to make at home.
And you know,
Because I'm going to spend $56 on sandwich materials for my house versus going out and having a decent dinner for like, you know, $60.
but another challenge is, you know, I was talking about the free meals and stuff that the kids get at the school that I work at. The sad thing is that even though it's not much, sometimes the only nutritious thing they have there is an apple or some celery sticks or cucumber slices. A lot of times that's the shit that goes right in the trash first. So not only is the shit that they're more attracted to is the unhealthy stuff, but we've built a society that makes that the norm. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm just as guilty of it. You know, as soon as we get out of here, I'm gonna go get some fast food probably. Yeah, you know. But the point of the
I mean, it's
matter
about changing
that,
habits too. Is what you're growing up with, what you grow up with as well. I know about nutrition. I eat really healthy, but that's because my mom was a health nut when I was a kid, and that's
but
what we ate.
that's not true for necessarily everybody. My mom was
No,
too. My mother was from Vietnam. She was directly from the motherland. She ate healthier than anybody I know. She didn't eat junk food or eat sodas. She got diabetes because she ate rice in every meal. That's how, you know, she was done in. But aside from rice, she didn't eat anything that wasn't, you know, healthy.
I don't think that's why she
So
got diabetes, but
I guarantee you that's why she got diabetes.
she probably got diabetes. Well, I don't know her health, but anyways,
I guarantee you it's why she got diabetes. She literally, a lot of Asians have diabetes, and it's linked back to rice. Grain products are just as bad.
but before they had American influence, they didn't have those issues.
That's
It's
right,
not the
because
rice.
in Vietnam they're busting their ass in the field in the hot sun for like 10 hours a day, while we're sitting here on computers and playing with our video games. We tend to lead a lot more sedentary lives. That's why you know, Indians. You look at Indians, and a lot of them don't necessarily have the same.
If I may interject, please, really quick. I'm so sorry. The main, honey, did you want to go first?
No, it's okay.
No. Please go ahead. Because it's a long point, and I don't want to cut you off.
All I'm saying is that you look at not even just Vietnam, but you look at Japan, you look at all these other Asian companies. They had some of the longest lifespans, and they actually were very, very healthy, and didn't have a lot of the problems that Americans have, or in any other country really, because their diet did not consist of red meats or like pigs. A lot of them. I'm not talking about all of them, but a lot of them.
I think
And
America's
then they got introduced to a lot of it. No, it's not, I mean, it is also sugar, but you notice like there is a absolutely astronomical rise, at least in Japan, where the links to fast food and to a higher consumption of meats, of red meats in particular, and all that raised to obesity in Japanese people, and an obesity in you can see that in America too. It's a big high cost. It has nothing to do with rice.
I totally disagree. The obesity within American within the Japanese culture had to do with westernizing of their food. That's why they.
That was my point. That was exactly my point.
So I'm gonna give this to both of you. You're actually both correct. first of all, when you take a culture who's been eating very, very natural, because there is a very, very fine line between having rice pure, grown in the field, and you're consuming it and you're working physically hard all the time. Number one, that rice, it's going to be processed through your body in a much better, faster, easier way. Your metabolism is going to be higher. Now, I'm also going to give this to Aubrey when I say, when you introduce things like heavy amounts of red meat, heavy amounts of meat, heavy. Well, when you start to take that in, and this has been a health argument currently in the studies for a long time, but it is proven true. When your body does not process a lot of carbs, or when your body processes a lot of good foods that are like really great for you and not a lot of fat, when you start to take in excess amounts of protein, those proteins are in fact converted to sugars. Thus, what happens is that you have potential weight gain. So to hear that the Japanese culture was then okay, we're eating red meat, why are we gaining weight? Well, you're gaining weight because your carb habits are good. Your carb habits are natural. You are having unaltered, unfiltered, unscrewed with rice. Uncle Ben's white rice over here will make you fat, period. Scott Pilgrim was right. Bread makes you fat, period. That's just how it is. It's proven science.
It's also what they put into it too. It has to do with they bleach rice to make it white. They process
bleached
the shit
flours.
Out of it. Wheat. The reason why more people are having celiac disease now than they used to, and this is a proven fact, is because especially in America, when we process the rice or the wheat, we actually put Roundup on it. We put Monsanto Roundup on it to kill it, to make it drier and easier to cut down and process. This is something that's a fact. This is not conspiracy theory. This is something that is shown and is part of the actual process that they are taught in agriculture to do.
And
this is anyway,
yes, and it destroys the nutritional value.
And it destroys
it. It annihilates it. So
and your thyroid. It actually affects your thyroid too.
So for a culture who's not used to consuming a large amount of protein, well, protein, when introduced in large amounts, is going to be converted to sugar. This is why certain keto diets fail, because people don't recognize the ratios between fats and proteins. They think, well, I'm going to cut all my carbs out and I'm just going to eat chicken. Well, guess what, asshole? That's not going to work. You can't just eat dirty freaking keto all the time and expect to lose weight and not have some sort of health,
crisis. Yeah.
Crisis. Thank you. That's not how this shit works. You got to keep it well balanced.
I healed my thyroid not through taking Levoxitrin, which is a thyroid suppressant. What that will do is eventually kill off your thyroid's ability to recover itself, because our body is self-healing if we put the right stuff in it. So my thyroid was low, and as soon as I cut out all meat, all animal product, and I ate good, healthy, very strong leafy greens, and I ate a lot of that, and I kept it very nutritiously. I went to a lot of research with this too to make sure I got all my proteins and everything, and my vitamin B12 and all that. But once I did that, I went to a primarily vegan diet in 2018. I was taking thyroid medication. My thyroid healed itself. So I don't know, that to me is something that's very important. So your body can heal itself. You have to have these things in really, really good balance. If you're going to have meat, if you're someone who has to have meat, that's fine. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, really understand where it comes from. And that's why I'm saying, a lot of the way that other countries process their foods is not the same way we process our food. So I don't think that it was particularly rice that your mom had in Vietnam that gave her diabetes. That's what I'm trying to say.
Vietnam is rice here,
which is very different. I can have wheat from other countries.
Well,
which is why
this is no longer about healthcare.
I would
say
it's part of it. It's preventative.
As a matter of fact, and I said this at the very beginning, nutrition should be an optimal and first line of defense form of healthcare. And to Van's point, yes, I absolutely, positively, and convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, no conspiracy theory bullshit. The drug and the food the food companies
FDA?
are absolutely, positively trying to keep us sick.
Oh, they're
I believe
probably
that.
owned by the same parent company. Are you kidding me? The same 12 companies own everything in existence for us.
You can
So
look this up. The Diabetes Health Heart Association is funded by meat and cheese corporations. Shit you not. You
truth,
go and look it up.
truth.
It's true.
I'm telling you guys, I can't, and I love all of you so freaking much. And I cannot express this enough. I have lost over 40 pounds just by fasting and getting rid of synthetic enriched bullshit. It's diet. 90% of losing weight and getting your shit together is diet. Do not be fooled. It is diet. Fix your meal plan and you will fix yourself. It is called autophagy. Look it up. It is real. It is true. And yes, it does cure cancer.
Oh, but Forrest, don't you know by saying those things that the Health at Every Size movement's going to cancel you?
I'm already canceled.
I mean, and it's a shame because I do think that we are impeded even in the system, because I do think that a lot of doctors, and this is true, that they do get information. They do get taught incorrectly at times, especially when it comes to nutrition, because of how much lobbying and all that. And that is part of healthcare. That's part of the shitty healthcare that we have. It's like, oh, instead of going, oh, this is how you could fix your thyroid, or oh, this is how you can manage these diseases. It's like, oh, stick a medicine on it here, even though this is going to ultimately do worse for you. Because people who go on Levoxetrine after a certain time, their thyroid is fucked. It cannot produce any more of that hormone.
She's absolutely right.
Because that's what it's supposed to do. And so it keeps you hooked on that drug. And that is scary. That is frightening.
Yes.
Not to mention, as a side note, that 95% of pharmaceutical companies that do business in the United States do not pay taxes in the United States.
Exactly.
And there you go.
And that is a huge problem. I'm not disagreeing that science and medications, there are medications that are life-saving, that have saved so many lives, like insulin. I'm
Metformin.
I mean, but he didn't even, like, when he patented insulin, like the insulin applicators, he only sold it for $1. $1. This is absolutely true.
Nikola Tesla. He made a bunch of stuff to benefit humanity, and then people kind of fucked him over. So the problem is that people that have the ownership of these things are allowed to exploit people for access to them, even though it did not cost them that. It does not cost them to make that. We don't have a set cap of this is how much you can charge for a product to be a generically available one.
Absolutely.
Versus, well, it's something that they need to live. Well, I guess I can charge 800% more.
And you have to think about brand. Yeah, you have to think about the branding.
Call me out on it. I mean, like this kind of devolves into like the whole current like political bullshit of what's going on with the midterm elections. I've had so many people at my job like comment to me things that are just like fucked up and side swipes, like, oh, well, you could thank your favorite president for that. And it's like, okay, first of all, Biden's not my favorite president. Second of all, are you really going to think things like inflation to just America? It's not just America. Like across the world, since the pandemic has, happened, things have gone up by like 10% on average, at least 9% on average. Things like gas prices, things like cost of living, things of like the cost of transporting everything have just gone up because of what we just experienced. And like the fact that people try to politicize it, make it it's the Democrats' fault. Like I look at it and go, wow, you're just really fucking stupid, aren't you? Like it's kind of sad how people immediately politicize things because now they have the inconvenience, even though it existed before that, and they didn't care then. because I don't know. I'm going to go off on a tangent that has nothing to do with healthcare at this point. Excuse me. Oh, God
Anthony, I
damn.
love you.
I'm so ready to drop statistics on people the next time they say fucked up things to me at work.
And that's why we love you.
See, and that's
First
not
of all, what statistical proof do you have for that accusation to me, sir? Second of all, why do you feel that I support this position when I don't? Oh, it's almost like you're talking out of your ass right now.
So I think the best thing that we can take from this, and again, Forrest likes to repeat himself, but the best thing we can take from this is take care of yourself and the people you love. Do your homework, do your research, find out. Clean eating is the way to eat. It is preventative measure is the best measure. And my God, try fasting because it freaking works.
Yeah, like for the pandemic, I'm admit I'm one of those people that started their own gardens. I made 3 garden boxes, like 8x8s in my backyard, and that's how I was able to get some of my kids interested in eating more vegetables. I go, hey, do you want to help me take care of this plant so you can learn about it and then want to eat it fresh from our garden? You know, they always like, you know,
tomatoes are the best.
yeah,
So
they like, we want McDonald's. Like, we don't eat McDonald's. We don't do it. That's not what we do. We rarely get fast food anymore. We stopped that a while ago.
Good on you, man.
Yeah.
Very good.
You
know what makes vegetables good? Seriously, you want to know what makes vegetables good? Healthy fats and good wholesome seasonings. Healthy fats, avocado oil, good fresh mineral salts, pepper, and your favorite veggies, and you just sizzle them bitches
Garlic,
up, and
lots
you're
of
good
garlic. You have to have that. I'm sorry.
And lots of garlic.
My wife throws in probably 2, if she could, 2 whole clusters of garlic, cloves of garlic, or heads of garlic, if she could, every meal.
Oh shit! And you know what, guys? I'm so
garlic
sorry. There's one more thing I need to say. So then this is a major one because this is a recent okay, it's not a recent discovery, but it is a recent thing that has been brought to the forefront. There's something else y'all got to know. For the love of God, stop eating seed oil. It's seed oil. Seed oil causes inflammation. There are 4 types of oil that the human body is meant to have and meant to have a certain way. You can have 100% pure butter, not margarine. 100% pure butter. Number 2, do not heat extra virgin olive oil. Eat your olive oil room temperature or cold. Number 3, avocado oil is meant to be heated and you can have it. And number 4, coconut oil, but sparingly. If you're eating any other oil but those 4 oils, for the love of God, stop. You are only causing inflammation to your body, and inflammation is just as bad. And it's like it's you might as well eat a whole freaking loaf of bread, of white bread, enriched flour bread. Don't do it. Keep the oils out. There is shit that has come out recently that is honest to God proven that if you remove seed oils from your diet for 2 weeks, your face and midsection will literally start to thin out. Not because you're burning more fat, because the inflammation that's in your body is decreasing. And that is the healthiest thing you could possibly do for yourself.
I disagree with
life-saving tips.
I disagree with the butter, but I agree with everything else. I disagree with the butter, but that's a me thing. That's fine.
Yeah, I like what Dr. Saber said. Side effects from some medicine can be scary.
I was just going to say that. I always laugh when I look at the commercials that go side effects of death. Side effects of death.
It's like, let's try Flavorfil. It'll be great. Side effects include kidney disease, cancer, constant rheumatoid arthritis.
No, what
death.
What I love is, and someone can figure out, someone will know what it is, I'm sure, but I've seen ads that say side effects may cause increased amount of gambling. Gambling? What the hell does that have to do with restless
impulse
legs?
control?
I've seen like antidepressant
it
ads say that things
impulse
will
control.
cause suicidal thoughts, which I'm just like, is that not
that? Well, it's
Isn't
more.
that what you're
It's,
supposed to be?
it's
like
when you get
preventing from?
if you don't take that medicine, that's when the increase happens.
okay?
Yeah.
Because if you don't take it, if you don't take it for
Improper use of the medication,
or you go out for a day or 2, I've had that happen to me, and it's not fun. I don't go to work for it when that happens.
It's interesting because I have ADHD medication, and I do notice, like, I don't really notice anything really when I'm on them, but when I get off them,
Yes.
I do notice there is a dip in like my emotional state.
Oh, that's
Which
me
is
with
interesting.
marijuana. Can we talk about this for a second? Okay, so here's the deal. Like, we all know that I'm a loud, outspoken person, even on here. If
Love you
I
anyway.
were to stop smoking any kind of weed or having any kind of THC, I become the most hyperactive, annoying person known to mankind. I tried this. Where I was like, I'm going to stop smoking weed. And then I realized I get extra hyper. Where I'm just like, hi, everybody. How's it going? What are you talking about there?
Oh my God.
And I just will not stop talking for like hours on end. And then I realize even then I'm going, wow, I'm really annoying right now. I can't believe I've just done that. And yet I still want to go on tangents where I just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Like I should have been given some sort of ADHD medication. I just never did.
I know someone that has ADHD and was on, the Ritalin most of his life, and he started smoking weed, and that was better for him than the Ritalin.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, but it is
Beans as a mood stabilizer. It's kind of
like,
amazing.
I can kind of chill and not be hyper as fuck, because hyper as fuck Anthony is really, really annoying, even for me. It's the self-reflection of knowing, God damn, this must be irritating for everyone around me right now. Like that's some scary shit right there.
Yeah, like I said, for one of my medications I take at night, they found out this year, because if I don't take it, I don't go to sleep, like, ever. That it was causing me to not breathe at night. So my brain was not waking me up. So I had to get a sleep apnea machine because of a medicine that I'm on.
Oh wow.
Oh boy, yeah.
God,
But it's one of those medications I can't not take, though, unfortunately.
Hyper Anthony sounds fun.
Sound like a fun time. I mean, join the club, Anthony. I mean,
if we want to get on a tangent about animes that you've never watched or like games you've never played, absolutely. Let's get me on a hyperactive episode of just like, let me rant about this thing because it's awesome. Totally down for it. But like, for the majority of the public out there, especially my coworkers, I already know, they're like, what's wrong with you today? You're really talkative.
I'm off my meds.
Sorry, I'm off my meds right now.
Oh God. Anywho.
All right, guys. We are coming up to the end of the show. It's a little bit later than where I typically would break it at, but you know how we do the ends of these shows, and since we've got Mr. Fours in the corner there, let's just start there.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm going to make this real easy. Go to kybercave.com, buy a saber. Go to forzfx.com, buy a font. Go to Kyber Cave Productions on YouTube, watch me and Aubrey play video games and laugh our asses off and have a really great time. And then in the future, watch Aubrey and Anthony, who's hopefully had a couple of tokes before we start that stream, play some retro games. In addition, keep an eye on this beautiful bearded man right here, fixing to do some retro stuff with and without me. And it's going to be freaking-nificent. For all of our supporters of the Kyber Cave, we want to say thank you. And we also want to tell you that please stay tuned as we're going to continue to bring more and more and more content your way. We are very excited to do it. We love doing it because it's what we just love doing. I am Fours. Good night, everybody.
Woohoo! Matt says stay away from scammers this holiday. Aubrey, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Aubrey. You guys know me. I'm just actress, singer, just released a new single, Mr. Sinister. Please go check it out. It's pretty awesome.
By the way, look at the comment down below, Aubrey. How funny that popped up when you
The answer is that's yes.
Yes, that is yes. We are planning on doing a D&D campaign. Well, it's not D&D. It's a game called The New Order. That's what we're going to be doing. It's a game that my friend/sister, whatever you want to call her, chosen sister, whatever. We've written a role-playing game together, and we are in the works of putting a show on for you guys. So with that game
Yes.
that we
Excited
did.
excited for that.
That just
I am-
happened to pop
I'm
up like
freaking
that.
out for that.
Forrest has actually looked at the book. I actually showed him the game, the book.
Oh, I need
a
to see
little
those
bit.
books.
It's genius. It's
And
genius.
he cannot stop talking about it since
I can't.
showed him. Yeah, so that's gonna happen. There's
You got your
that.
music
We got
behind you, right?
Yep, that's the band. It's called BYL. So yeah, just go look it up on Spot. We have it on Spotify. We have a Facebook page. We also, of course, I would rather you go to our. I mean, not rather. I would like you to also go to our Patreon, like Forrest was saying. You need to also check out Forrest and all of our beautiful, lovely people right here who are amazing.
Woohoo.
And I'm super excited to do the retro gaming with Anthony and my KCP hubby. So it's I called you out. And
This is Forrest.
whatever.
Yeah. BYL stands for Bio Lightsaber.
There you go. Go buy your lightsaber. Like
All
Forrest is
right.
throwing right in that corner. Anyway, so yeah, that's me. I'm doing a bunch of projects, a bunch of music projects, a bunch of video projects. Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
That
You
me.
never know where
Hopefully-
you're going to see Aubrey next.
Oh God, it's me. Okay.
AC.
Hi. Hi. My whole sign off is please pray for me and my foot issues because I really am tired of being disabled and crippled at home.
Oh.
Outside of that, God, drag has been such a drag for me lately.
Aww.
I'm only doing 3 more shows for the rest of the year, and it's needed. It's needed because the holiday season's going to kick my ass. So you can catch me next week on the 9th, which I hope that I'm okay to perform for. We'll see.
Wow.
The following week for the 16th, and then December 7th. Other than that, the Slay House is going to be taking a hiatus. Holidays are crazy.
That means you can come
Dan,
and see me at my karaoke show.
Maybe I could if I can walk, if I can actually physically walk, unless I have like access to a scooter or something. But
Small little
Van, I'm
place.
glad that you saw Rocky Horror. Thank you.
I did.
Picture.
Those
I got
pictures
that.
were amazing.
I know, weren't they so great? I did not know that you did not know that Day is always magenta. She's always magenta.
So much
yeah.
fun.
I hope you enjoyed the jokes I wrote for Frank because apparently, they did land.
They did. It was such a good, fun show. That was so much fun. Support community theater.
Yes, you should.
Always.
Very
Always.
helpful. But now
Always.
that
Oh.
Phantom of the Opera is closing on Broadway, it's eventually going to come their way. Because I swear to God, if she ever gets the rights to that show, I'm automatically the Phantom, and if not, I will become the Phantom and show up and make that production a living hell.
Woo-hoo.
Outside
Oh
of
my
that,
God.
I
I
just
sent
worked-
some duets there, my friend. I sent some Family of the Opera duets coming.
Oh, hell to the yes. I am all about that anytime I have the mask here at home.
You just gave me a great idea, too. Oh, sorry,
Hang
go
on.
ahead.
But I do look forward to doing some Legend of Dragoon action with the two of you. I think that would be fun. Again, I love that game on so many levels. And
I can't wait for Forrest to meet Levitz. I just can't wait for him to meet Levitz. I
He
just
doesn't
can't
know
wait.
Lavitz already?
No, he doesn't know Levitz. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait for him to meet Levitz.
Sorry.
I'm excited that you're excited. Let's do
Everyone
this.
say goodnight to Janina really quick.
Anyway,
Good
sorry,
night,
Janina.
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 Hi, Janina. I am
Sorry,
so
we're
glad
so
that your pain meds have kicked in. I wish I had
me
some. Must be nice.
Oh,
I have-
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry. Keep
okay.
going. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, anything else, Anthony?
I think that's about it for me. I'm annoying as shit without weed, and thank the Lord that weed is like legal for the most part in California.
It's from the earth.
Outside of that, the healthcare system sucks. Housing sucks. I really, really am curious to see
I
how
say why.
midterm elections go. And
Oh,
other
yeah.
than that, all of the people in politics should probably just like fall off the face of a cliff, and we should have people in the 90s running the country now. So,
Woohoo.
it's my idea.
Sewong's so cute. He's
All
like, but Levitz.
But
Okay,
Lavitz, I'm Albert. God damn it, I'm Albert.
All right, so I got so many things. I want to let you guys know we do have a Discord.
Did you get to Graveyard?
Oh shit!
You did not.
I
Don't
did
forget
not.
Graveyard.
Oh my god. Okay.
Don't forget our lovely
I know,
There
I got
are
to-
two beautiful bearded men on
went
the
over
stream,
here.
damn
I
it.
usually do
You're gonna
that
go ahead
every
and
show. I
skip over
forget
him.
somebody.
Wrong.
I'm so sorry. That's
Oh,
my
that's
bad.
all right. It's all
Graveyard.
good. Yeah, so I'm Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pilot at Night. Mostly, we release on Wednesdays every week. Now it's not
Woo.
October. Also, catch all these great people over that way to me with all the cool game stuff that's coming out. I never played Legend of Dragon. I can't wait to watch you guys play that. And I hope to help you guys help play more retro games in the future too.
Yes.
Yes.
And catch Graveyard co-starring on Last of Us Episode 6 playthrough.
Woo-hoo,
Yes.
that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's fun watching you play with different people.
So yeah, check it. Check all this great stuff out. Like I said, more stuff coming. Forge and I are working on 16-bit characters for title cards and stuff like that. So
He
I'm
also asked
excited.
me to do an 8-bit theme song thing. So
Yes,
you and I are
that
gonna have
too.
to talk about that.
Yes,
Ooh,
absolutely.
We got a beer battle going on over
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Dr. Slaver,
The
let me fight
Kraken has
him.
been
Wow.
Let
released.
me at him. Let me at him. I will fight. I'll fight you.
I am loved just the way I am, Dr. Saber M. And by the way, you don't get free fonts.
Okay.
Snap, snap,
All right,
snap,
so,
snap, snap.
Okay, back to me. I want to remind people we do have a Discord. I don't really, use that thing so people know about that. We have a Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can have access to exclusive, not only merchandise, but also giveaways. We're giving away, at least once a year, we're giving away 5 sabers. One of them will be a one-of-a-kind, etched and powder-coated special thing.
Ooh.
I do want to remind people we are giving away a saber this Sunday night. Somebody asked about it. I think it was Dr. Saber. This Sunday night on our show on Saber Rattle, which we have an incredible guest. And next week, the week after, we have an incredible guest too. I'm so excited about these next 4. Oh, and then I know who's coming up after that too. Woohoo! This week we have Rob of Genesis Custom Sabers. If
Holy
you have
shit.
been in the lightsaber community, you know what a huge get that is. I have been waiting over a year to talk to him, and now my time has come. I am very excited. Not only that, we will be giving away a free saber. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel and leave a comment on that Sunday show. Your name automatically goes in a little computer thing, and bloop, somebody's name gets popped out at the end, and they get a free saber. And we've had many people who've come back on here and tell us how much they love their free sabers. The week after that, I want to let you know, if you guys are fans of YouTube, especially if you're into the nerdy news like Marvel Facts and Star Wars, you may be familiar with a little show called The New Rock Stars. They have a following of around 4 million people or so. Tommy Bechtold, one of the hosts from New Rock Stars, will be on this show the following Sunday after that.
That's awesome.
And I'm really excited about that. And then after that, we have Gary Ripper and V Ripper coming up. So the Ripper Blades will be in the house as well. We've got amazing things coming up. It only gets better and better. Make sure to join us every Wednesday.
Yeah, Mezzo's show. I forgot.
Yeah, join us every Wednesday for Kyber Cave Gaming. Mezzo does her live stream, and then his shows just come out when he is done editing, so he doesn't necessarily have a set time. So you never know what you're gonna get when you pop
When it's
in.
good enough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fantastic. I love this week's.
We have amazing things, and I'm really excited. Coming up, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, we have a brand new show coming to Kyber Cave. Brand new weekly Wednesday show that we will be doing with John from Abilities TV. It has to do with health and mental health and
Spectacular
that kind
guy.
of stuff. Very cool. Very cool.
Forrest, or not Forrest, but
Yes.
Hey, Dan.
What?
Our sister shows. Just at nerding.
Oh yeah. I'm not even wearing my Distance Nerding hat right now, huh? Don't make sure to check out Distance Nerding wherever you. Oh, they're down. See, they're down there. What's up, James?
Oh, James,
Okay,
I didn't see you there. I
I
didn't
am
see
wearing-
you there at all. Hi.
I am wearing my 916 shirt right now, representing the Sacramento area. This is from
I
my
heard
boy
they're
Crazy
adding 3
Ballhead.
new fucking numbers to the 209. Now it's like 209-350 or some bullshit like that.
Oh no.
Make sure to check out Distance Nerdings on Tuesday, wherever you nerd out, wherever you get your podcast. They are all over the place. Just Google, put in the little Google machine, Distance Nerding, and it'll give you a plethora of places that you can nerd at. All right. I want to thank all of my incredible guests and hosts that have been on tonight. I love you guys all. We are Kyber Cave After Dark. We are here every Friday at 8 p.m. to 10 or so. All right, guys. Love you all. Peace. Oh wait, I got to do the outro first.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all.
Yay!